referee who's on the football field, and the coach is in his ear going, "Arr, arr," just barking at him, and they're like, the announcer's like, "How does he learn to put up with that?" And they flash him back to his home, and he's sitting on the couch, and his wife's in his ear going, "Arr, arr." Right? Yes. Am I all talked out?
He's all talked out. So he always comes down, and I'm like, okay, I get that he does not want to talk anymore about anybody's opinion, any problems, and so usually I let him have, I do let him have.
Notice.
At that time, when he comes down and kind of just, rest, it's quiet. And
right.
then after that, then it's kind of, okay, we got to get going with that.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things for me that helps the pendulum go this way, and she'll tell you, is try not to surprise me with a lot of stuff. I like to know in advance. Because when I'm at work, I'm thinking about, I get to go home and rest. And I get home and my wife says, I got to go do this, I got to go do this, I got to do this and this. If I know that I'm not coming home to relax, I'm coming home to do stuff, then I flow into that very easily. Because I knew, right? When I come home and I didn't know, and I have an expectation for my evening, for example, the Mavs game is on or something, then, and fortunately I have a basketball wife, so we will watch the game together. That's something for me. That's how she can serve me, and she's learned that through the years. The best way to do it is to hit me with it when I'm at work, and she asks, can we go do this? Men, you know that how things are phrased to you. I always feel like I have to be able to say no. Not that I'm going to say no, but I have to feel like I'm in this relationship by choice. I'm not going to say no usually, but I have to feel like if I said no, you're not going to just go crazy on me. I have to have the option. I'm not going to exercise the option, but that should be in the contract somewhere, right? The right to say no. Okay, husbands, how'd they do? Husbands, what do you need? What did they miss? Okay, could be, and that's going to be very relationship specific. My wife can't spend for anything. I have to get her to spend. She has buyer's remorse over McDonald's. So I have to, honey, it's okay, it's just a Big Mac. We'll be okay. So, again, it depends on the relationship. Like, she loves sports. So if I'm going to sit down and watch a game, typically she's by my side. That's very lucky, man. You know how lucky I am. But so that's easy. That's not a conflict for us. But for other marriages, that's a huge conflict. Okay, anything else? Husbands, yes?
Don't try to have a serious conversation while watching.
That is by design. Because you're distracted, right? Yeah, whatever, hon. Go ahead. Here's the cards. Yeah, you just sign there. Whatever. Go ahead, go. Okay? All right. But that's something that's important to you. And when they distract you and it's important to you, what are they saying about you and what you're doing? Yeah, there's not a respect there, right? And again, it's all in the approach. Wait for a commercial. Bring a plate of nachos with you. I don't know. Depends on what it is. I don't know. All right. Okay. This same concept of pushing the pendulum to the other side works in every relationship you have on the earth. You have a problem with your children, one of the things you can do is serve them. You have a problem with friends, enemies, serve them. And you know this is a gospel principle. Serve them. Stop talking about what they're doing to you. Stop focusing on how it's making you feel. Serve them. Push the pendulum over there, and know the pendulum's not going to come back every time. But there's an amazing thing that comes out of serving. The mere act of serving others brings one's own problems into perspective. I don't necessarily know why that is, but so many problems in the world, so many issues that you have can be overcome through the act of serving other people. The act of thinking about other cares and other worries somehow whips you around and puts you in the right frame of mind. And it's almost instantaneous. Yes?
I think it might be also that you realize that things aren't as bad as you think they are for yourself.
Absolutely. Especially if you're serving those with other needs. You know, you realize, oh my, I was sweating that. I was worried about that. God, I actually feel guilty. I was so caught up in that, and these people are over here going through that problem. But this concept of serving your enemies, serving that manager who you hate, serving that employee who you hate. It's a very important concept. All right, here's another one for you, and my time is about up. So, as human beings, we're always changing based upon our surroundings and our associations. Always. Your laugh changes over the years. What you like changes over the years. If you're always at work and she's always at home, you're changing, but you're not changing together. And you're doing this. You're not doing this, right? You're not growing together. You have got to find ways to grow together in your marriage. If you live separate lives, you'll grow apart from each other. So the question is, how can you ensure that you will grow together and not apart? I think we've talked about a lot of those things. Pushing the pendulum in one direction or another. Very important. But I'm going to kind of cruise through here. So important. It's not about you. We kind of talked about this. When your husband comes home and he's had the worst day ever, and he comes home and he says, oh, so-and-so did this to me and so-and-so did this to me, what do you say to them? You say, well, yeah, Bobby did this and so did this. You come right back at them. Right? They weren't talking about you. So why are you talking about you? They were talking about themselves. Isn't it interesting that many times when somebody complains about the problems they have, we turn it into us and how we go through this one-up thing? Why do we do that? I don't quite know why we do that, but it'd be so simple to say, honey, I'm sorry you had a bad day. And then wait a minute and say, my day kind of stank too. So I wanted to drive this home a little bit. All right, last concept. There is a way to improve everyone around you. And this is, again, something I learned managing people. I'd go into a place and they'd say, you're going to want to get rid of this employee. They're horrible. They're horrible. You just want to get rid of them. And I would always try and give people an equal playing field when we started out. With me, you're fresh. And I'd tell them, with me, you're fresh. So I don't care what it is, with me, you're fresh. Relationship truth. How you treat people has a direct effect on how they will act and how they will perform. This is just simple truths of life right here. If you treat people as they are, they'll probably stay as they are. If you treat people worse than they are they going to stay as they are? Again, this goes back to the boss who's never happy with what you're doing, always bringing you down. I met an 8-year-old in the mission field who was convinced he was a thief. He told me he was going to go to prison one day as a thief. And that's because he had stolen some things, and every day his parents reminded him of it. You're a thief. And he was a thief. He had just embraced it until he embraced the gospel. If you treat them as you know and hope they can be, they will rise to the occasion. This is another gospel principle. If you treat children, if you teach adults, if you treat your spouse as you know they can be instead of as they are, then you've given them room to rise. And they will rise. But if you treat them as they are or below, you're going to force them down. And you can see that in your own life when you're treated with respect. And when somebody treats you as better than you are, what do you feel? You almost feel guilt, right? Man, I'm not that person. I better act. I better step up. I better improve. Another very powerful relationship principle. All right, so quickly. There can be no feelings of success without the potential for failure. I'll brag about my animation again one more time. On to expanding freedoms and limiting freedoms. push the pendulum to your spouse. Don't keep it on your side. Serve your spouse, and your spouse will serve you. Grow together or grow apart. And remember this one? Get this one down. And if you treat people as better than they are, they will rise. And thank you very much. Any questions? Any?